Hello, everybody. How y'all doing today? Welcome back to my weekly DM stream where I talk a little bit about what it goes into prepping for a Dungeons and Dragons session. I generally go over these with a little bit of map making. That's kind of my go-to, but if you ever want to switch the subjects, you want to talk about something different, you have questions for me, just toss it right over there in that chat, and I'd be happy to go over anything with you. My name is Josiah. I'm the resident DM here at Vicious Camaraderie, and I have opened my my map making software. This is called Dungeon Draft, and this is just a blank canvas that I have open right now. So I don't know. We're gonna check, see what kind of fun stuff we might do today. I am streaming on a couple different platforms right now. I do have my messages open here on my computer, so go ahead and throw any information or questions or whatever at me right there in the chat, wherever it is that you're watching from. My main stream is on Twitch, so feel free to pop on over there if you want to see the best view that you possibly can. But I am on Instagram and YouTube as well right now, so awesome. I always forget to drink water when I'm not actively doing something, so I'm going to be drinking a little bit of water today. But yeah, anyway, let's go ahead and just pop right in, shall we? So the first things first, I have open a blank map here. I'm not sure exactly what I want to do with this today. I don't have anything in particular planned. I do know the first thing that I always do with my maps is I get rid of this dotted line. I switch it over to a narrow line, and I like to make it as blended as possible here, so that kind of blends in with the background. Like you can see here now, I hate the dotted lines. I don't know why it's the default. I'm sure I can change that, but I don't. Because, you know, why? Why would I? I don't know why. So let's see here. I've built out quite a lot of maps for the area that my party currently is in, a city called Unadinis, which I have built out. I think I have 11 maps total there at the moment, and that doesn't include a couple of extra stories that I want to build onto a map that I've recently made. And that map, I only have the ground floor on it. Rather than, you know, I want to include a second floor, maybe a basement. Like, we'll see. There'll be more stuff to add, but I want to leave a little bit of that to the imagination, so you can pop over on Tuesdays when we're doing our actual D&D game and check out what might have been built. Just kind of going over a couple of things that I have done. Let's pop over to the Silver Dragon Inn. This is where the party currently is. This is a map that I made probably almost a month ago at this point, where I have like a little stage over here, which is where Chapel Gnome was performing from, and like some seating, lots of different like tables, a little buffet area, or like proper dining room, kitchen, etc. I've also built up a second floor here that has like a balcony looking down to people below, some rooms for rent, storage, etc. over here. Let's see if the tool's working right now. It doesn't seem to be. I'm not sure why this has been a little broken lately. I should be able to see the ground floor through this, but it's not showing it. I think the best thing that I can do, or I could potentially show, is if I... Let's see here. Yeah, I have to flop these around. There we go. Take the focus off that one. So I like doing something like this. This gives a pretty good idea of like the stuff that's blurred out and a little bit darker is in the background. So when I export this map, it can look something along these lines here. And I could potentially pull it into better focus. I can make it simply darker so you can see that there is a difference between these two layers. Stuff like that. I can also get rid of, change the, what do you call that? opaqueness, opacity. That's the word, I guess. As well as if I wanted to make this something that I could just print on a piece of paper. I can make it look like that, a little bit easier to print up. Yeah. Anyway, I'm not exporting this right now. And for some reason those all go away when I decide not to export it, so there it is. Just a few of the things that I've made in the past. This is the Factual District. This is the streets that the party was in a few sessions ago. This is an area that's supposed to be a little bit taken over by the Feywild. We have a little bit of like the natural stuff that it might have actually felt like, looked like, before all of this stuff down here happened and pulled everything into something a little bit different of an area. So I built out a couple of different, like a bar, some rooms, a factory here. These are supposed to be, I made my own looms here, so this is supposed to feel like a factory that makes clothing or fabrics. These are supposed to be like big vats for dyeing those fabrics. Like I have different things set out over here that are supposed to have been dipped in different kinds of dyes, drying, all that kind of stuff. And then a couple of storage rooms. One over here and another storage room that I put over on this side. So this is my Factal Street map that I made here. So there's that. And the one that I've been doing the last couple of weeks, which has been this guy. This is a castle map that I've made. So this has a couple different levels. When I'm making maps, the main things that I want to look at is I want to make sure that there is dynamic stuff that the party can deal with no matter where they are or what they're doing. So one of those things is putting like a dividing wall between different heights here. So this might be, 10 feet higher than down here. That'll give the people, a few squares back, some partial cover, make it maybe if they lie down flat, if they're prone, that they can't be seen by people who are down here. I did the same thing with floor up this way. You have buildings with different rooms. People can pop out, pop back in. It gives you a little bit of dynamics to play with and reasons to move around the battlefield. If you don't give players reason to move around the battlefield, Dungeons and Dragons disincentivizes you from moving, because the second you get into melee with somebody, if you move away, they get an opportunity attack, which means that they can just you get punished for moving. So you got to incentivize people to move, whatever that incentive might be. So I've got a few different places here that I have created to try and give players the reasons to move around the field. And then we have the inner walls over here with a little garden area. The main doors opening to this big reception hall for what looks like a bit of a throne room. I haven't started putting cluttery things around, so this looks a little too clean. I also haven't, it looks like, finished putting in shadows over here, so it's also a little difficult to see what the height of things are. So these counters don't quite look natural because it looks like they are blend in with the floor. That's the main thing that shadows are for, is making it so things don't feel like they're just blending into other assets, and they look like they're at different levels. And then over on this side, I made a little relaxing area that's also for when they're entertaining guests. You might go over here to have a few drinks, relax, play some games. Over on this side, dinner, whatever. And then I made stairs going down a hatch over on this side, and then stairs going up, and stairs going up over on this side as well, in order to get to different levels, you know? So on the next level up, this is the one that I was working on most recently. You have like a storage room, because I figured down here, this is all behind that bar. This is going to be where like staff might go. So storage room felt good to me up here, and I'm gonna once again keep filling this out. And then I made a few rooms. So I have a couple a big bedroom here, a couple of like big walk-in closets, and then a couple of smaller bedrooms on this side, including I made a little bunk bed. Figured that'd be fun. So the next step is going to be to decorate these like indoor porches kind of areas. Make it so that people, if they were staying at this castle, might feel a little bit more relaxed. While up here, up on the upper floors, I'm probably going to need to make some sort of office space for our, you know, whatever main person's in charge here. And then I once again made a little balcony here so that people can be upstairs and look down on whatever is going on the floor below them. So that's kind of what I've been building the last couple weeks. This is definitely not done. This feels like I am still forever working on this project. This map will take weeks, apparently. But let's go ahead and move on to something else. So what I'm thinking we might want to do today, and let me know once again if you have any questions, you want to change the subject, just pop it down there into the chat, and I'll be happy to talk it over with you. But the next thing I was thinking of working on here is actually not going to be in this program at all. I was thinking of popping over to the new city that I'm going to be kind of working in. That is the city of Cephalanol. So there it is. I'm running a homebrewed world, and I wanted to really try my hand at different kinds of lands and cities and infrastructures, different kinds of what do you call them? Ruling bodies. So the two that we really got into is the area they're in right now, which is maybe more of a feudal system. So you have kings, queens, duchess, dukes and duchesses, earls, etc. And we have some very big cities. This is the beginning of the industrial revolution here. And then in the next nation north, that's the only other place that the party has actually been to, you have more city-states. So each city has its own laws, has its own constable, mayor that's elected, with no real connection to the other cities in the area, unless there is a time of strife, trouble. When in need, that's when they might elect somebody between all the different city-states to help lead whatever conflict there might be. So I'm going to pop us over to the map that I am making over here, and I can show you. This right here is the city of Cephalanol. So I am in the process of building this one out. And at the moment, I haven't built different districts or anything to identifying here. But I will say that the couple of big things about this area. Hello, War Turtle. How you doing? Welcome to the stream. If you have any questions for me, or if you have any directions that you'd like me to get into, anything, questions or concerns, or want to just know what's going on in my head that I'm not saying out loud, just pop it in the chat. I'll be happy to chat it out with you. So this is the city of Cefalinol. When it comes to building a city, there's really only a couple of things that you need. One, anytime you build a city, it's very helpful to have other like exterior places that the party might go that's near the city, so making it a little bit more of an area map. And then the other thing is points of interest in the city, things that the party actually needs to know. It's difficult as a dungeon master to really guide your party into what they need to know with all this, because this is just, you know, it's a pretty map, but there's no information that a party might actually need to know yet in here. So the first things I'm going to do is go over different districts. Showing parties what the different districts are might help them decide how far they want to travel. One of the things that I like to do in my games is have a party members roll for random encounters depending on how many districts they are traveling between. So if they want to go from the castle, so this right here would be the castle, and they want to head to you know, so-and-so's farm, they might have to go through 2 or 3 districts to get out to that farm, in which case they have 2 to 3 d20 rolls to figure out if something's going to happen between the castle and the farm. And they might decide, ooh, you know what, we'll do something closer instead. Or, you know what, we're going to do as many things as we can inside the one district before we move to other districts. So just ways to kind of help your party make decisions is kind of the main thing that with something like this. I might name a couple of these farms, name like the little lakes that I put out here. There's 2 different kind of like bays here, a northern, a southern, a big bridge, and I have I believe it's called Brennanall Woods out here. So these are all places that the party might need to know, as well as the biggest thing, which is if there's going to be an event out here, then I should probably put that on the map. Be like, oh, there's a place out here. This is Brennanall Woods, and then they know when they ask about, oh, should I go here or here, I can say, I can hand them a physical copy of this maybe, and tell them it's going to be out here in Brennanall Woods, it's at this big farm, or these farms, that something else is happening, or in each district. So just give them ways to orient themselves in the world. Otherwise, big city maps like this are not super necessary. The most necessary thing is going to be your random encounter maps. So if you're running a Dungeons and Dragons campaign, one of the staples of it, which you can choose to do or not, it's random encounters. Pretty much any module you look at is going to have a table somewhere in it that just has you, the DM, or it can be your party. I like to have the party roll because it makes them feel a little bit less like I'm doing it to them, but they rolled it on something. But you can give them a table to roll on, and if they roll whatever numbers, certain things happen. Some things might be good, some things might be bad, and then some things might just make it so that nothing happens. You can create those yourself. You can find them online. You can just look up random encounter tables for D&D, and you'll be able to find some in there. And then say what kind of a campaign you're running. Oh, this is going to be nautical, so give me some sea encounters. Or I'm in the middle of a big city. Give me some urban encounters, or forest, or whatever. Travel. So the big things I'm going to need here are going to be districts. I wanted this to be a giant city. And I think I successfully made a giant city here. I still feel like it probably needs more farmland, so I'm probably going to copy some more farms for down here. Because honestly, in order to feed this many people, you're going to need a lot of farm. I think it's supposed to be something like 2 to 1. Twice as much farmland as there is big city area. just to feed all those people. Now, some other things that I could do if I want to be smart about this. I got this map actually from a program online. I went to a free map generator and just kind of had it do a few different kinds of maps until I decided that this one looked pretty good to me. In that map generator, I think each of these black buildings are a point of interest, and that helps me kind of gauge what all the party might, like how many areas they might need to like take a look at. That's felt like wordy gobbledygook, but yeah, let's say that. So what I could do here, like this is obviously like the big castle grounds. It might even be a cliffside. Maybe I say this castle is built right into the side of a cliff. That'll help with defending this castle if and when something bad happens. Because let's admit it, we all want to deal with some kind of big crazy bad thing, right? That's like the whole reason why we play D&D, so we can save the world. So for me, when I'm building stuff out, there's one of two directions I can take it. One of those directions is I can come up with encounters and ideas, things that I want people to be doing. And then the other direction is I come up with a really cool area, and that gives me ideas for things people could do. I do a little bit of both. I kind of go back and forth because I don't like just... Sorry. I find it difficult to continually come up with ideas. And I find it difficult to just build out a map with no idea as to what it is I'm building. So I kind of look around the map, I'll kind of come up with some ideas of things that might happen here. Yeah, you see one big slum? You said that this whole city, right? Hi, how you doing? Yeah, I mean, this city definitely does feel like that at the moment. I'm gonna try and see if I can build out different areas here. It is so tightly packed and so chaotic the way that the random map generator built this that I could agree with you for sure. How you doing today? Was it Mateus? But yeah, I'm just trying to figure out what I want to do with this map. So this is supposed to be my big nation capital. So there should definitely be some like really nice areas. There should be some slums. There should be, you know, merchant districts and maybe some areas where you know obviously we got some shipping going on down here, etc., etc. The more I build out the map, the more ideas it gives me as to what my party could do here. And I come also with some preconceived ideas of what the party could be doing here. So I got to make those things work hand in hand. So one of the things that I can do with this is I can create regions with different kind of borders here. So let's just go with this small dotted border, and let's just make let's call it some sort of like shipping area, a temple city, part of the like the Vatican. Yeah. I mean, I do have like the big castle here. Each of these blacked out buildings are supposed to be like points of interest with the random generator that I used. I don't know if I'm gonna actually use those as point of interests, but you know, we'll see. Maybe. Let's see here. I'm gonna follow some of these just really weird, awkward streets and just start picking out what might be a district. So I'm gonna make this some sort of shipping district here. And And let's just like take that all the way out to maybe out here, down these really weird, crazy streets. Let's see here. How's it going, Kyle, over on Instagram? Also chatting it up. There we go. So I think something like that. So that's now one district. The harbor is protected. It's got actually a big, it's kind of in a bay down here, along with the north side up here. Two kind of big bay areas. I would probably want to extend this a little bit. The way that this was built, I would have preferred it maybe back here. I almost want to maybe twist this whole thing. Whoops, not like that. And if I move it maybe a little bit more like that, that actually might feel a little bit better. Make things feel a little bit more protected. Yeah, in fact, I like the shape of that a little bit better too. We're just gonna go ahead and move that whole thing. I'm gonna go to my regions and do the same thing with this region here that I just made. Which of course I can't twist the region, so I'm just gonna delete it. There we go. Let's see here. So what I'm going to want to do is build up some land here. So let's go ahead and pop this out a little bit. Now let's take that out to there, and then we'll just make this nice and big. And fill in the rest of that. And then one of the things that this ends up doing is making things look a little lumpy. So what you can do, or what I like to do, is either one of these two, either delete a little bit of land or grow the land a little bit bigger. And then you can, in this case I'm deleting it, and it kind of gives it a rough edge. I want to take this all the way to all these things. Dude, the starting part is the hardest part of any campaign, any map. It's always figuring out where to start. If any idea ever pops into your head, I say run with it, because otherwise it feels like it never will. When I got the idea for my campaign, I definitely felt like I was having such a hard time figuring stuff out, and then once it started to click, it just clicked. That gives me more space to make more of these as well, farms. And I like the way that this now feels like a much more protected harbor. And here I can maybe make a little bit more of this out here, more of a secondary harbor. Like, we'll see. I might create some more of these assets and just pop out a second like wharf looking thing out over here. And I got some farms. Like, I like this now. This actually feels pretty dang good to me. I'm gonna have to take a few more things now because I twisted all of this. Let's see here. I'm gonna get rid of symbols, but let's. Oh man. Unfortunately, these are considered symbols too, even though they look like trees. we go. Put that over there. Yeah, that's looking good to me. Let's flip that all the way around. Move all this stuff out a little bit. Something like that. Yeah. Oops. Okay. Let's pop over to my water because I'm going to want to get rid of this lake here. I'll probably, let's just make this. Let's see here. Not going to fade it. Make it nice and wide. Yeah, boom. Look at that nice wide river there. This feels a lot better now. Now you have the city all kind of on the inside of this this bay instead of exposed to whomever might be sailing by. You have a much better protected harbors in here. We could just put some farmland out here, and you have like the city wall basically protecting the rest of this side. This makes this feel a lot better. Thank you, all you out there. Mattias M. Appreciate all the help, because I do like this better. Let's see here. I'm gonna pop these. Oops. These farms here. They're gonna be like. It's just gonna be farm city. Let's just pop a few of these out. Pop them. Out just more and more stuff. Yeah, something like that. Maddie. Agreed. I think that the rule of cool is very important, but if you aren't improving your game because you're just want everyone to feel cool, or your area to feel cool, then you're not doing your game a service. You know, the more realistic, the more you can get your players to buy in, the better it is. I agree, Maddie. So please keep the criticism coming. The advice. Perfect. It's feeling a lot better to me. Of course, I can't have a boat in the middle of the city. Let's put this boat right there. Yeah. Nope, this one too. Put that one over there. Now, why would this end like this if the land kept going? I think I'm going to have to get rid of this area too. Unless I might build more. We'll see. Right? You got to feel real. I I'm a big believer in making things feel realistic. The more realistic it feels, the more you can like get into your character designs and your world building, the more your party will enjoy the game. I don't see any big roads over here. Let me... There, regions. Okay, so let's see here. You know what? Let's go ahead and just make that a little island there. There, now there's a little island. Okay. So this is going to be a little bit more of a shipping district over here. Yeah. Let's go with this one. So I gotta include the dock here, I want to say. Maybe I'll just run it right alongside the castle. Have the castle kind of be the splitting line. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. Alright, we're going to call this the shipping district. Got a few buildings in here that look like they could be points of interest, things that the party could get involved in. The island is a nice flavor. Maybe the shape needs to change since you want it to a bit more pointing towards from where the water comes flowing. Yeah. I mean, we'll see. It's a pretty small island, so it might just go away altogether, but I do kind of like it out there. Shaping more towards where the flow of the island, so maybe talking about like cutting out this area a little bit more and maybe growing it out here a little bit. Honestly, I'm not sure how I feel about it right now. We'll see. I might move it. I might adjust it. I might get rid of it altogether. Like, I don't really know. Just growing it out, you think? Hey, why not? Let's make that way smaller. Let's do something like that, and then give it a little bit more of that tip. That way it kind of matches both sides, almost like it was like as an earthquake happened or something, it sort of started to split apart. Get that out of the way a little bit. Yeah, something like that. All right, so I got like a little shipping district over here. I'm probably going to put maybe make this whole like tight area here another district. Let's go ahead and do that. Of course, the castle itself is going to be its own thing. Oh, it's got like a nice straight line here too. Not to mention the fact that the buildings out here look way different than the buildings in here, so this kind of fits. Honestly, there's not a, like, although there's a lot of magic in my world, it would probably still take a fairly realistic amount of time in a non-magic world. There's not too many spells in Dungeons and Dragons that would really be able to move massive amounts of things any faster than, say, cranes do in the real world. So I feel like it would still take weeks to unload. Like, they would need whole, like, and you can see there are like a lot of different little docks out here on this little peninsula. But I'm probably going to add some more shipping stuff out here as well. What were you thinking, Maddie? Yeah, let's just make that a different color for now. So we got a couple of districts now. I might make this whole big area up here another district. Maybe we'll make it like the nice person's area, the rich area. All right, let's see here. Let us follow along the walls. Let's see. Yeah, just a ton more space is basically what you're saying. So 20,000 people per supply gate, plus another 5,000 people per permanently docked unloading ship for food. Yeah. Most of the food I want to have growing right here around them. But this is going to be kind of like a bigger... There we go. So I want to kind of make the farmland grow a little bit. I'm probably going to add some farmland down here. Because from what I understand, I would need roughly twice the amount of like just physical space for farms than the amount of physical space it takes to fill a city. Let's make this a little bit more, I don't know, let's go with green. Let's make it that color. Why not? So most of the farm stuff is going to be over here, back here. They might have to ship it just across the street here from here to here. Maybe this will be a big farm. Like, I don't know. And then, yeah, you need, what do you say? Depends on how many multi-story houses you have. That's true. And I think that I'm trying to set this campaign as feeling a little bit like late 1800s, mid 1800s. So a big city, you are going to have a lot of big multi-story housing, but not crazy high. You know, we're looking at what, 4 or 5 stories. I'm not sure how tall buildings really were able to get to in that era, but not too crazy big. And yeah, they might need to ship in some food from further away as well. And like I said, I'm gonna probably end up putting some farms down here. And that'll need to ship across this little strait. Let's see here. So let's make another little district. I'll figure out what I'm doing with these districts later, but for now, I want to make sure that, once again, basically every time the party goes from one district to another district, that's potential for a random encounter, as well as it'll help me with, there we go, it'll help with deciding on how many points of interest are going to be in each area, because I want to try and keep them to a couple of points of interest per area, giving the party incentive to kind of move around this city. Perfect. And I would say most of this stuff out here is going to be the slums, because it's outside of the protected wall. You have plenty of stuff inside. These people probably, yeah. Yeah, something like that. Let's go ahead and pop over to symbols again, and I'm just gonna copy and paste a few of these farms. Oops. I can't copy and paste. Let's see here. Killing all random encounters from my game about 7 years ago. When I do random encounters, I basically make sure that there's very few random encounters in my games, and those random encounters are basically vetted by me, and they all progress the story. I don't like random encounters that don't add to anything except just I don't know, give your players something to do, make them feel like they're leveling up. Like that doesn't feel good. So yeah, my random encounters are all build the plot. And there's not very many. And if they don't get to those random encounters, it needs to be okay. So it's a really rough balance. But I do like I like it when my party still feels like it doesn't feel like I just decide, okay, you've done enough exploration, let's go do something. Yeah, no, I like that, and I feel like that has probably more merit than what I'm saying. Having random encounters that aren't actually random, that you're choosing when and where they go, that always build the plot. Yeah. Did enough roleplay out of combat. Yeah. That being said, my party loves roleplay. I don't know if I could get them to stop if I tried. Or slow down even. If we were in the middle of a combat, they're going to find a reason to roleplay. But hey, it's all about having fun, right? If people are having fun, then we're doing it right. Alrighty, let's just add a few more little things in here. Let's see here. Add a couple little buildings out here, a couple little buildings over here, so that I can put some more of these guys out here. Yeah. You are absolutely right, Maddie. Absolutely right. For a while, I feel like I wasn't doing random encounters. I'm still pretty new to the craft. I've only been DMing for about 3 years now. But I went for a bit without random encounters, and I realized that I like giving people plot points through random encounters. That way, if the party's not following a thread, it doesn't feel like... What's the words I'm looking for? Essentially, if they don't go find the plot should come find them, you know? And I feel like that's what random encounters do for me. My social group broke. Yeah. It's hard. It's hard when your group kind of falls apart. There you go. Bunch of farmland down here. Look at those. All that stuff. Woohoo! Bunch of stuff. Great. Put a couple of buildings right in here. A couple of buildings right over here. And I'm going to adjust all this stuff as we go, because what I'm going to do, I don't like the different art styles blended together. I'm going to get rid of this one. That style's not doing it for me. All right, there we go. There's a lot of awesome stuff online these days. So, good luck to you. I think you got what it takes, sounds like. Yeah. All right, we're getting somewhere now. I think at this point I'll need to pop over to my what I've built out about the city so far and start building out some encounters. I want to get some points of interest. I want to name my different districts here. And if I'm building this much stuff outside of the city itself, there's got to be some things going on out there. So I'm going to need to go over all that. I CBA'd. Yeah. Honestly, these kinds of maps are my bane. If you want to see, I don't know if you were on, Maddie, when I was... Ooh, let's see here. These are the kinds of maps that I enjoy making. I like making battle maps. So I've made this castle here. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the tools either. But I do like making battle maps. I like going through the artwork, the styles, coming up with reasons to get a party to move around the map, or NPCs or monsters to move around the map. Putting in, I have a wall here, different little buildings, doors to open, areas to kind of maneuver around, maybe sneak around one way, realizing that there are stairs and walls dividing areas apart. This is where I haven't quite finished. This doesn't quite feel lived into me yet. But the style, doing this kind of stuff, making this feel lived in and good, I find is way easier than what I was doing with the city map. This little wider view out here. Because yeah, the tools for this, I just don't feel like it's there. It just doesn't quite feel right, and I'm not sure how to make it feel better. And I'm blending a couple different things here. So this right here, as you can see, this is one big asset. I got from a random city generator that I then pulled into Photoshop. Photoshopped a bunch of stuff out of it, moved things around a little bit, and then I exported that into this program, Wonderdraft, where I used it as an asset that I can move around. And then I have different assets for farms, for trees, mountain ranges. I can pull in, you know, land and water. Yeah. What about you? What about me? What about it? But yeah, so this is not my forte. It's not exactly what I like doing, but I feel like the more you do as whatever you are, the better you get at it. And then things that I never liked before start to become fun. So that's what I'm kind of about. There we go. I like taking things that I used to not like and making it fun. Figuring out what makes it good, enjoyable, etc. I agree. I'm not a huge fan of either of them for city maps. But I haven't found a great alternative either, so I don't know. What do you use for yours? So that's is that like a program, a website? Canvas of Kings? I might have to take a look at this. It looks like I can purchase it. I can get it on Steam. Map making tool. Okay. Tool focuses on randomness and auto-generated elements on a user-definable interactive path, plots, and room. I like that. Okay. I might have to look into this soon. Thank you. You know, I'm okay with that. With it just being black and white. Anything that makes it feel realistic, you know? And I think anything would feel, you know, more realistic better than what I'm doing here. This is feeling okay, but the main thing is to get the point across to my players and make them feel immersed in the world. And I will say that a map like this does not quite feel homogenous. Like, no one person drew these fields down here, these buildings, and this map out here. It would have to be multiple people. So that's not realistic. And I'd like to try something else. And honestly, if it's just for like city maps being black and white, I think I'm okay with that. I might keep Dungeon Draft for the actual battle maps, because honestly, I do like Dungeon Draft, and I do feel like what I get out of that is pretty decent, pretty good. Let me see the color palette like that. I mean, I'll check it out. Honestly, anything that I don't have to just perpetually pay for, I like something that I can just buy and it's done. And if it's good, it's worth it. You know, I feel like I've seen this before on some sort of advertisement. But I didn't know exactly what I was looking at, and I will say it does have some color elements on some of these, but it looks more like a you get like 2 or 3 colors, not full color. But yeah, I'll have to check it out. Power word spill. Need a video. Okay. I'll check it out. Thank you so much. I feel like, yeah, basically anything will be better than what I'm doing right now. I'm not a huge fan of this. It's not terrible, but I'd love to try something else and just see what's good and what's not. There's no reason to just stick to one thing because that's what I did first. And I like what Canvas of Kings looks pretty cool. I will be trying that out. Maybe next week, pop on here and I'll be doing Canvas of Kings instead. I don't know. Maybe. I do want this to be like a nice, really big city. And it looks like Canvas of Kings is a little bit. You're looking at a bunch of different assets. You can build like actual roads and walls, etc. And I do really like the auto like filling in of spaces. You can say I just want a bunch of buildings in this space here, because that's what it looks like it's able to do that this one's not. So I'll have to check it out, because honestly, I think seeing the creator make a city, they use roof tools to make blocks. Yeah, and that's essentially what I'm doing here. I just have a bunch of roof tiles that I've made, also from a, what are those auto generation websites, like a auto city builder. Yeah, and this is significantly larger than a 2 to 5,000 person map. But yeah. Well, I'm gonna keep working on this because whatever. I'm almost done with what I wanted to do with it anyway. Let's see. Do I want to put some mountains over here? Do I want to like just put a little range right through here that kind of comes down to right about there? Something like that. Let's go ahead and let's make this. There we go. Got a little mountain range. Probably wants a few more mountains going out this way. Something like that. I probably want to also get the background in here a little bit more yellowed out. I like that a little bit better than just the bright green in each of these areas. I mean, I highly doubt. Oh, yeah, there we go. That's gonna be down there, I think. I highly doubt this is gonna be my last project, and I'm gonna need to make other city maps at some point. So I might have to check it out anyway. I honestly don't think that it hurts, to check it out. There we go. That's what I want. A little. Let's see. Yeah, me too. I take down the. There we go. That's feeling a little bit better. Dull down that color that I originally put on them. I actually honestly like this color a little bit better than most of the stuff that I did. Like just around the edges that I wanted to have a little bit more of like a beachy yellow right around the coastline. this little straight there. This feels like a harsh line, so let's go ahead and just give it some love. There we go. There we go. That's feeling a little better. Yeah, you know what? I think this is good enough for now, especially if I'm gonna just remake the whole thing in Canvas of Kings now that you've enlightened me. I'm gonna go ahead and let's make this nice and big. City name. You just choose a color of mountains and you only make it two. There we go. And I'm just gonna go ahead and just call this a, well, let's say I want to give it some very similar names to the other city that the party is currently in. Let's call it 90. Let's make that 70. Because I figure they're in the same nation. They're going to have similar names. So I'll make that Noble Adele. We'll make this one the merchant district. Why not? Make this over here be the I don't know, some place. I'll deal with that when I get to it. And this one's going to be shipping Ardell. Let's pop that right over here. This one. Ooh. Come on. Oh. Well, how come this one's the only one I don't have a... Let's just get rid of it. Do it again. This is... There you go. Toss that right there. And we'll just call this the slums out here. Something like that. Yeah, maybe I just want to do like a district or a few streets in the Canvas of Kings. That might be a good idea. And I'll just call this, I don't know, farms with an exclamation point. Heck, we'll call this more farms. Let's get this curvature completely away. And then what I'm going to end up doing is probably off stream here, but in the next couple of hours, I'm probably going to look through my notes, figuring out the kinds of things that I wanted to bring the party to do here. I'll start naming out these areas, give them points of interest, which I will also notate on the map, name the farms, name the areas, and that way when the party gets here, I can hand them a map that gives them all the information they might need. And when they actually get to certain streets, yeah, I might have built it out in Canvas of Kings so that those streets feel real, like they're walking through them. They get a little map of the area. Maybe we do a little chase. Like, I don't know. We'll have to see. But yeah, I think that's gonna be about where I go for the day here. Thank you so much, Maddie, for joining me. I saw Rob on there a little bit, Kyle for a minute. Yeah, it's great to see you all. And you all have a fantastic night. Don't forget on Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. That's when the party we do our actual D&D stream. You can watch us play the actual game that I am building these maps for. Thanks so much, Maddie, for following us. I'll be back pretty much every Friday, Thursday or Friday, doing my DM stream. I think next week it's going to be on a Thursday instead. And I just gotta go over what I do in the background when we're not actually playing the game on Tuesdays. So we'll see you then. Have a great night. Thanks.